What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rule of Two Review. My name is Rob, and today I'm going to talk about the sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. So I am more than excited to be able to talk about this today. It was just revealed 2 days ago, something that I never saw coming, and I am so wonderfully happy about. It turns out that the sequel to Eternal Darkness, which was the 2002 GameCube game, known as Shadow of the Eternals, is actually going to be releasing sometime soon. For anyone who isn't familiar with what was happening with Shadow of the Eternals, sometime last year, I think it was early, maybe spring last year, 2013, Denis Dyack, who founded Silicon Knights, which was for a while an amazing studio, had all of a sudden basically come out of hiding. I mean, hiding isn't the right word, but they just were gone for so long and no one heard from them. All of a sudden, here's Denis Dyack in the news again, and he's talking about the spiritual successor, spiritual sequel, so to speak, of Eternal Darkness, known as Shadow of the Eternals, and that it was going to be a crowdfunded project. It was going to be coming to Wii U and PC, and it was just this great thing. I mean, the first game, Eternal Darkness, is just one of my favorite games of all time, so I couldn't be more excited about that, and I'll talk about the first game in a moment. But yeah, so he and Silicon Knights came out saying, hey, we're ready to do this. We've got this working mock-up stuff. There was a great trailer that released. Shadow of the Eternals was looking awesome, looking for crowdfunding, and hooray, let's make this game and bring it out to people. So I, of course, was crapping my pants, and I donated some money, and I just couldn't wait for this game to come out. Sadly, after a couple weeks, it didn't meet its goals, so the game kind of disappeared into obscurity, and it kind of just seemed like it just wasn't going to happen, and it was a serious casualty of today's gaming industry, and I was really upset about that. However, 2 days ago, like I said, all of a sudden it turns out that the game, no longer needing crowdfunding, is officially still going to be releasing as Shadow of the Eternals, the sequel to Eternal Darkness, by Denis Dyack, but now under a different studio. So how is this all happening? Well, mostly it seems to be a restructuring of Silicon Knights, because now Silicon Knights is no longer a company. Denis Dyack and a couple of other folks have actually restructured and renamed the company as something brand new. It's Quantum. Of course, I had it in front of me and I'm forgetting how it is listed. Quantum Entanglement Entertainment, Inc., otherwise known as QE2, or maybe QE squared, I don't know. So Quantum Entanglement Entertainment, which is really hard to say that way. It's best to say QE2. So that is the new company. No longer Silicon Knights, but Cinnamon Knights would be interesting, right? So no longer Silicon Knights, it is QE2. And there's a lot of things going on with this new studio and what Denis Dyack is trying to do. Denis Dyack is a really polarizing figure. He's made a lot of people upset in the past. A lot of people don't trust him anymore. And I know 2 Human wasn't very good in what he promised. And I mean, that stuff is unfortunate, sure. But honestly, I will always love and respect him for A, making the studio Silicon Knights, and B, creating Eternal Darkness. Like, that is his get-out-of-jail-free card for me. And the fact that he has been pushing so hard to make Shadow of the Eternals, to me, shows that he really believes in it. He believes in this game, and he believes in the universe of Eternal Darkness so much that he is, even without the crowdfunding they tried to get last year, still pushing forward, restructuring his studio, and trying to say, hey, we're making this goddamn game, so get ready to play it because it's going to be great. And I am so happy and thankful of that. I don't care what he's done in the past. Just keep making great Eternal Darkness games, man, and stick into this universe, and I'll be really, really happy with everything going on there. So it's very interesting because what he talks about with Quantum Entanglement Entertainment Incorporated, I didn't think I was going to say that again, but I did, QE2. So when he discusses QE2 and the real purpose of this studio, it seems to be more than just gaming. He's talking about, you know, gaming, film, and television as these 3 major media hubs and these forms of media entertainment that really need to come together. And that is what QE2 is going to do, is I think work in all the different forms of media. So gaming, movies, and TV. And what's very interesting is he's talked about bringing these 3 things together in the same projects and what he's calling the singularity, quote unquote. That's his coined term for this exact purpose of this studio that he started. And I think that that's an interesting idea. I mean, on the surface, I really like the sound of it. The thing is, when he's talking about Shadow of the Eternals, he seems to mention that he wants Shadow of the Eternals to be more than just a game, and he wants to incorporate this singularity idea of film and TV alongside of it into this game. And so I'm on 2 sides of the fence there, because I feel like I don't really want that to happen. I kind of just want the sequel to Eternal Darkness to be an ass-kicking, amazing game. That's all I want it to be, is a game. I don't really care if it's going to be a TV show and a movie and stuff too, you know? But at the same time, in the same breath, it's as long as those things, whether they're good or not, as long as they don't affect the actual game itself, then I really have no reason to care, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't have to watch the TV show or the movie if I don't want to. I probably would, but I don't have to. And if those turn out to be not very good, provided the game is good, then it just simply won't matter. So in the same breath, like I said, I kind of don't really have to care. I don't think it should be done this way for this game specifically. I'd rather them just focus on this idea of the singularity going forward with new projects and not really kind of, spoon feed it into this previous project, which is a sequel to something that was just a game. But, I guess we'll just kind of see what they're planning on doing going forward. It's really just the game Shadow of the Eternals that I'm excited about, and I'm hoping that you guys are excited about it too. So again, for any of the younger gamers out there who might not be familiar with the first game, again, a 2002 GameCube exclusive release, Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. Amazing survival horror game. One of the few mature exclusive games for the GameCube at the time in the early 2000s. And it was just a brand new IP, a brand new property. Got wonderful reviews and very famously didn't sell too well, even though everyone seemed to love it. And almost anyone who's ever played it has raved about it. And they should, because it was a great game. I still actually own my copy of that game, and I wouldn't get rid of it for the world. So what's really interesting in talking specifically about Eternal Darkness and specifically about Shadow of the Eternals is what was unique to Eternal Darkness, again, for anyone who doesn't know, was its use of a sanity meter and insanity effects within the game. So that the more damage you take or more scary things you would see while playing different people within the Roivas family throughout different periods of history, both modern and old, you would start to go more insane. Your sanity meter would deplete, and the more it depleted, the more insane you would go, and the more insane you would go, the more the game itself, literally the game Eternal Darkness, would play tricks on you. And it could be anything from your head would randomly explode, all of a sudden you start to shrink, all of a sudden you walk through a door and you're upside down on the ceiling, to the game playing like fourth wall breaking kind of tricks where your volume would all of a sudden turn down, or it would look like there's a fly on your TV screen. The very, very famous one that I've told this story a couple times to people, my friends and stuff. I remember playing this game one time when it was brand new, just in the weeks after it had first come out in 2002. And I remember playing it, and I went to save, and this is back in the days of memory cards, by the way. So if you remember the days of memory cards, this is when I was going to save the game. And it said, do you want to save your progress? And I selected yes. And then a warning comes up, and it says, warning, proceeding from this point forward will continue to delete all the data on your memory card. Do you want to continue, yes or no? And of course I was like, what the hell? Hell no, of course I don't want to do that. So I selected no. And then all of a sudden this progress bar comes up, and it says deleting memory card. And this progress bar starts filling up like it's deleting my memory card. And I literally screamed. And I was like, no! And then all of a sudden, it stops, and then the game flashes white and then turns to black, and you hear the character laughing like, oh my god, I'm going crazy, and it turned out to be a joke. Basically, I was so insane in the game that was the joke that the game played on me to signal that I'm going insane and didn't know what was going on. And it was so effective, and I was both entirely pissed and really impressed at the same time. And, of course, I didn't actually delete my memory cards. That was the rub. That was what they did, and it was just so cool, man. And there was a lot of great things going on there. So when you fast forward to today, and the power and the technology and the systems available, whether it's Wii U or PC or both or whatever, and especially if you look at the Wii U and what they could be doing with the gamepad and the screen on the gamepad, there are some really amazing things I think that they could pull off with the sanity effect in 2014, 2015 gaming, especially on the Wii U. So we'll see. Whatever platform this thing came out on, I'd be playing it. I really hope it comes to Wii U since it's a Nintendo branded franchise, but whatever, man. Just bring this game out. I will play it. And I think that they can do really cool things with the sanity effect, like I said. The trailer is interesting because it seems to really be delving into the past. It doesn't look like anything in the modern day is happening in the trailers, which is interesting because, like I said, the original game was both modern day and in the past, different periods of history. So I would hope that kind of continues in this new one, but it really just depends on which aspect of the story and if we're continuing with the Roivas family or if we're doing something completely different. I mean, who knows? But it seems to be some sort of Templar thing where you're some sort of knight or a priest or a monk in a Templar kind of setting, during the Crusades or something like that. And and you're just in all these old cathedrals and caves and stuff, and these monsters are showing up, and it just could be really, really awesome. So, you know, the ultimate purpose of this video was to talk about really quickly the restructuring of Silicon Knights into QE2, and the fact that Shadow of the Eternals, which popped up last year, then disappeared like it was never going to come out, and now is all of a sudden coming out again, is really, really great news. And as a humongous fan of the first game, I just think this is the best thing gaming could be doing, is finally bring us the sequel to Eternal Darkness. So there's a lot more that I could kind of go on as far as Eternal Darkness, Shadow of the Eternals, the new studio, what they're doing. The thing is, the rest of it kind of just remains to be seen. We know the game is coming. We don't know the platforms yet. Denis Dyack says in the couple articles I could find that, hey, you know, we don't know what platforms it could be on. It could be great on PC. We're trying to do this singularity thing where, of course, you know, I wanted to make it more than just a video game. So could we get a TV show or something alongside of the game that coincides with the story? Who knows? Like I said, the most important thing to me is bring the game out and make the game awesome. And I feel like it's going to be, because obviously Denis Dyack is so committed to this universe and this franchise. Like I said earlier in the video, I think that he's doing this because of his passion for it. And he knows that he needs to make this good just like he did the first game. So I think that this game is going to deliver in that respect. The one last thing I want to touch on before ending the video is when they were doing the crowdfunding campaign last year, the big thing, and this was something I wasn't in love with, but I wasn't going to let it, you know, stifle my excitement either. The big thing that they were trying to do was they wanted to bring this game out episodically, as opposed to just like one retail complete game. And I don't really know if that's still going to be part of what they would do. It sounds like maybe, but I'm going to really hope that since they don't have to go the crowdfunding route, and it seems like they're getting publishing some other way, like somebody's picking it up or something, I'm hoping that they just make it an actual retail release. Don't do episodic, don't do downloadable, please. I will still play it, but I really don't want you to do that. Just make it a real fucking game. That's the way it should be. Make it a game, put it on a disc, put that disc in a box, put that box on a shelf in a store. That's how I want to buy my games, especially the ones I care about, like the sequel to Eternal Darkness that we've been waiting 13 years for almost. I've been waiting since launch day of the first game. I played it the day it came out, and now I'm finally going to get the sequel that we have deserved. So just make it the way it's supposed to be. Don't make it downloadable. Don't make it episodic. Make it a real flipping game. So anyway, that's pretty much it for today. That's all I'm going to discuss on Shadow of the Eternals for today in the new studio. Really awesome information. I am just, you know, pooping my pants with excitement. I think this is great news. This is like one of the things that is showing that the gaming industry still can do the right things and bring the right kind of games out to us. So good on you, Denis Dyack. Good on you, gamers. Good on you, gaming industry. I'm really impressed and really thrilled about this news. So I'm sure it's going to be sometime next year. We'll have to wait and see once the game finally comes out. But that's it for today. Of course, if you're new to Rule of Two Review and you stumbled upon this video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Like and share the video and your comments and your thoughts about Shadow of the Eternals below. Follow the links below to the Facebook page and the Twitter, both of which I run. Thank you so much for tuning in as always, and I will catch you guys on the next video.